So remember how Triple H and Brock Lesnar had that match at SummerSlam, and then it kind of faded away for a bunch of months, and then they went back and had a match that none of us really, really were excited about seeing at WrestleMania, and then that was the end of it. Nah. Now they're gonna
One more
have
pay-per-view.
right. They're pulling a Christian here, having one more match. The
Right,
rubber,
let's take a moment of silence for Triple H's desk.
the rubber match is gonna be a steel cage match, and I'm not sure why they're doing a steel cage match. Or does anybody else have a theory behind that?
I do. I do. I think they want to kind of get. Let me just start off by saying I think Brock Lesnar's going to win, and I think the reason that they're doing this as a cage match is because they want to give Brock Lesnar the big blow off to this feud that really he should have gotten at WrestleMania, but they needed to give Triple H his win back, so they gave him a big win on the grand stage. So this is kind of a way of them giving Brock Lesnar the one step above that. You know, he's going to win the best of three. He's going to destroy Triple H. And if Triple H knows how to do good business, which now that he's an executive, I would assume he would be more inclined to do, he's going to lose to Brock Lesnar, and Lesnar is going to go on to whatever other feud they have planned, whether it be The Rock, whether it be The Undertaker. It just makes too much of a business sense for him not to win.
And on top of that, it's Extreme Rules. Basically every WrestleMania rematch that's not Jericho and Fandango, as we speak, needs some sort of gimmick behind it if you have one. I think Brock absolutely needs to win this match. I mean, 2 back-to-back losses to Triple H in the span of a month and a half would be horrible for him. And I thought even losing at WrestleMania would have been terrible for him, too, because he already has a loss. So imagine him going, 1-3 in terms of wins and losses. That would not be good. So
well, he's not Ryback. But
I know he's not Ryback, but the guy came in and he's got this huge shoot fighting background, edge to his character because of his time in the UFC, which I believe is another reason why it's a cage match. Lesnar, he's got cage fighting experience. But I absolutely think he needs to win this match.
I have another thing. Oh, God, sorry.
No, go ahead. That's basically all I had to say. It'd be bad business for him not to win.
I have another theory on the cage match, and that's that Triple H he's always had this attitude, but he's really been showing it a lot more lately that he's a very old school guy. He appreciates how things were done back in the day. And back in the day, when people had a big feud, it would go out for the extension of what it is, and it would always be blown off in the end inside of a steel cage. That was the way you always ended back in the day.
Did we lose Peyton?
Yeah.
It would always end.
There we go.
He decided to go this route. My prediction, this is going to be a bloodbath. Maybe not
Really?
as far as like a ECW match with Sabu in it, but
Or
for
a Ric
today's
Flair
standards, yeah,
Like Cena Lesnar
yes.
esque blood.
I would,
really?
yeah, I would expect both men to be bloody by the end of this. I think this is going to be the most extreme match of the night, and I think you're going to see Triple H get his ass kicked,
Which is
And
what I've actually
destroyed,
personally been
maybe
waiting
even
for.
stretchered.
For 2 pay-per-view matches now, for him to get some sort of MMA ass whooping from Lesnar. It just hasn't happened yet. Maybe this will finally be the show where it happens.
As a side note, I'm going to say that if it wasn't for the fact that they have a pay-per-view based around the Cell, I firmly believe this would have been in a Cell match instead of a cage match. I could see, because that's Triple H's gimmick. A lot of his big feuds end in a Cell matchup, which, if it wasn't for the fact that they have a Cell match pay-per-view, this would have ended in a Cell match.
I can see that.
But
I
but
wrote
what
an
is
article.
a cell, though? A cell is just a big version of a cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
it
mean,
fits
more
Triple H's
room.
gimmick.
They
On top
act.
of that, there's more room and there's more you can do inside the Cell gimmick than you could the cage match because of how big it actually is.
Yeah, and they
Yeah, but
act like
Triple H
it's
is
a
an
big
old
deal.
school guy, though. Triple
Yeah,
H
I
is an
know.
old school guy. He's
I
been
have
working
total
with
faith in this delivering, 100%. I think it's going to be great.
I think that Triple H is losing. I think he has to. I actually wrote one of the articles that I wrote for Bleacher Report. By the way, check out the Bleacher Report articles if you get a chance, guys. You'd find them interesting. All you got to do is search for it. It's on the Facebook page and stuff. One of the ones I wrote was that Brock Lesnar has to beat Triple H here. He can't lose. And Triple H even said the reasons why after it was like the Raw afterward or something like that. It's the same reasons why. he loses his mystique. It's not better for business for Triple H to win, and that's just the way that it is. So you can have a 50-50 match, but one way or another, Brock Lesnar has to win this. I wouldn't be surprised if he won by some kind of interference from Paul Heyman, and it kind of makes Triple H still look a little bit okay, but he has to win.
We could even have his new client get involved because they're kind of tugging at the strings a little bit, saying that there could be a third member to Heyman's sort of quartet. So you never know.
Yeah.
He may even reveal his allegiances to the Shield and have them involved in some way, form, or fashion. We don't know exactly. Yeah, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I don't see Triple H coming out of this with a win.
Does anybody have Triple H or Brock Lesnar?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah, I didn't think that anybody really.
It's not the wise thing to do, and I don't think I just can't see Triple H. Well, I could, but I don't think business sense wise you should not be beating him 2 pay-per-views in a row.
No.
At all. It does nothing.
The only way I could see him actually winning is if Triple H in his mind thinks short term. You send the fans happy, you give them the big babyface win, and that's they've done that before in the past where they've thought more just that short term mindset instead of a long term build. So there's always a possibility, but it would be really dumb if they made Triple H win.
Yeah. We're going to end this off with the next part. In part 11, we're going to talk about John Cena and Ryback.